years ago today, Captain Tom Moore finished 100 laps of his garden in aid of the NHS, raising more than £17 million for the NHS. This was that moment.
Captain Tom, how do you feel this morning?
Fine. Yes. I'm surrounded by the right sort of people. So, yes, I feel fine. I hope you're all feeling fine too.
£17 million. So I wanted to catch up on our own lockdown heroes this morning throughout the show. On the show with me is Bournemouth snooker player Bradley Cowdroy. Morning, Bradley.
Morning, Alan. Thanks very much for having me on.
Lovely to have you on. I mean, it seems like a world ago now, doesn't it? It feels like almost like it was a dream. It didn't happen. Remind everyone what you did to raise money for the NHS.
Absolutely, yeah. So again, I can't believe that 5 years passed that quickly too. But so during lockdown, I had the opportunity. Obviously, I'm trying to make my way as a professional snooker player, and I get to practice on my table at home. And I had the idea during lockdown to do a 24-hour stream to try and raise some money for the NHS, obviously during the lockdown period. So yeah, we managed to raise nearly £3,000. Not quite Captain Tom's effort, but sort of just trying to use my platform and my sort of facility at home to try and do some good and entertain some people. So yeah, it was brilliant.
A lovely idea. It doesn't have to be 17 million, does it? It's the way that people connected in all those years ago and wanted to do their bit and give some money. You streamed it, which was a lovely bit of accountability. It kind of makes sure that it actually does happen for 24 hours. Was there a point, do you remember, in that 24-hour snooker shift that you thought, this is really starting to bite now? All I want to do is fall asleep. My brain is fried.
It's for sure. I've never done anything like that before. We have tournaments that last, large portions of days, but talking about playing 3, 4, 5 o'clock into the morning, still with 5-6 hours to go, it was tricky. But I had my dad to help me on sort of the graveyard shift in the morning, sort of playing frames with each other to keep each other going. So yeah, it was certainly an experience, and I went to bed probably for about 3 days straight after I finished. But no, it was well worthwhile, and I'd do it again if I had the chance to.
Odd question, Bradley, but do you think it improved your snooker? And the reason I ask is because it's the extreme end of practice sessions, isn't it? And I wonder whether you noticed that your capacity had changed or anything had changed after doing a solid 24 hours where you're being watched. This isn't you mooching around your snooker table. This is you knowing you're being watched. Did you notice a performance difference?
I don't know if I'd say a performance difference, but certainly I remember once we managed to get out of lockdown and return to tournaments afterwards, sort of perhaps matches in the past that were perhaps dragging on a bit, going a bit tactical in tournaments. It wasn't really seeming as much of an issue. I was like, well, I've gone 24 hours, so a 3-hour match is nothing. So it certainly helped with the sort of patience and sort of capacity to, concentrate in the longer matches. So it certainly helped in that regard, yeah.
I can see that. I can see that with food. They say, those people who fast food for a day or a couple of days, one thing that happens is when they get hungry, they don't have to meet the need. A bit like you're saying. So you're in a game, it's a bit long, it's a bit drawn out, but you're kind of used to it, and it's nothing compared to the 24 hours that you had to do the late night snooker sessions with your dad. It has a different capacity feel about it. Let's talk a bit about snooker before you go. I happened to catch the Welshman Jackson Page. Did you see that? The first player to get 2 1-4-7s in the same match. It was phenomenal. Was it on Monday?
Absolutely incredible. Yeah, I think it was either Monday or Tuesday, but yeah, that was incredible, and it was brilliant because that kind of thing puts snooker on the map. I think we're quite fortunate at the moment because mainland Europe and in the UK as well, we've got a lot of young professionals coming through, sort of that new generation really trying to bring snooker back into the sort of modern limelight, which is fantastic. I've got friends who are very close to being on the tour. I'm obviously trying myself. I did manage to play Jackson in a European event a few years back, and obviously he's progressed incredibly since then. And just as a snooker player and a snooker fan, to see 2 maximums in the same match was incredible, very inspirational.
Yeah, and nice, I imagine, for you, before you go, Bradley, I meet a lot of football players, and when you meet them, they've obviously played right the way through the ranks, and you know that you can play at that level. So much of snooker is tucked away in the mind, isn't it, and holding your focus along with the phenomenal talent. But if you played him, you know that you can be at that level as well yourself.
Absolutely, yeah. I was really fortunate as well. A couple of years ago, I managed to finish my junior career really strongly, and I managed to get a wild card to the English Open. And funnily enough, that morning of my match, I was scheduled on the table right next to Ronnie O'Sullivan, who was also playing that day. So, yeah, when you get that sort of exposure, and you sort of rubbing shoulders with those kind of characters, it really sort of eggs you on. So, yeah, absolutely.
That is so cool. What a life you have. Good luck to you, Bradley. Lovely to have you on the show. Lovely to reminisce. About 5 years ago today, it was Captain Tom Moore finished his 100 laps, raising 17 million quid, and other people across the South Coast were doing their bit as well. And Bradley Cowjoy from Bournemouth, the snooker player, did a 24-hour marathon. Nice to reflect on that and his career as it stands at the moment. It's 8:15.